Hi, I'm Shreya, and I'll be explaining loan analysis using decision trees and random forests in Nine software. So, what is loan analysis? Loan analysis is an evaluation method that determines whether a loan should be approved or not. So, it basically tells if the loan is made in feasible terms or if the potential borrower will be able to pay back the loan in the given period of time. So basically, it checks the eligibility of the potential borrower against the criteria set forth for lending. So the models discussed for this analysis in this video are decision tree and random forests. Both of these models come under a particular type of machine learning called the supervised learning. So what is supervised learning? Supervised learning is an algorithm that learns from labeled training data, and it helps predict the outcomes of unforeseen data. So what is labeled data? Labeled data is the data for which we know the outcome of. So these data can be data from the history, like history records. Like in case of loan analysis, it will be the data of whether like a loan made under certain conditions, whether the borrower was able to pay back the loan or not. So the label data means some data is already tagged with the correct answers. So this is the label data. The labels, which are hexagon, triangle and square, is what we try to predict in the future. These are sent into a model training where the model will be created, and from when the model is created, we can give an unforeseen data which will predict the results for the test data. So before going into the models, I would like to talk about the data set. I have taken this data set from Kaggle. So this is the data set where the credit policy is basically like a credit score, which will basically tell whether the candidate is worthy of the loan approval or rejection. So if the credit policy value is 1, then the loan will be approved. If the credit policy value is 0, the loan will not be approved. And the given conditions are the different attributes over here, like the purpose of the loan, and interest rates, and various other attributes are there. Some of them are categorical values, some of them are continuous values. So the software I am using is Knine. Now this software does not require coding. It is a node based system. So all the different steps in here, like first is reading the label data. Then for the model training, we need to split which data should be sent for modeling and which data should be used for testing. All these different steps can be executed by a node. So each node will have its own work, and these nodes will be interconnected till prediction, and for prediction, reading CSV files, or for training data, like that. So the models over here are, the first model is decision tree. So the decision tree comes under supervised learning, as I said, and it is and it will basically categorize based on whether the loan should be approved or the loan should not be approved. So what is a decision tree? A decision tree is a tree structured classifier in which at each node a decision is made, and mostly each of these nodes are associated with an attribute. For example, in the previous example, the attribute can be the number of edges. So if the number of edges is 3, it can go to the left subtree, where the decision tree will classify it as a triangle. Or if the number of nodes is equal to 4, it will the decision tree will send it to the right. It will go to the right side branching, where the decision tree will predict it as a square. So like this, the final conclusion is made based on a sequence of decisions. The first thing we need to decide is what attribute to take first. This attribute is considered by calculating the information gain. Information gain is nothing but according to the name itself, it tells which attribute helps us gain the maximum information. So to understand information gain, there is a concept called entropy, which is basically the measure of uncertainty, which is the measure of uncertainty. We find that for every attribute, we find the difference between the entropy before splitting and the entropy after splitting. The formula of entropy is this. P1 is the probability of the variable leading to a positive result, and log the probability. This will be the entropy, and we find the information gain like this for all the attributes, and the attribute having the maximum information gain will be used as the root node. Once this attribute is found out, then again for the subtrees the same algorithm is applied. Now this P is easy to calculate for categorical attributes as the number of sorry, the decision making is easy for categorical attributes, since we can say if the number of edges is equal to 3, but that we can't do for continuous valued attributes. So we need to find a point where the condition can be made. This point is called the split point. This can be the average of the maximum and minimum value in the values in the attribute. So for example, if it's the attribute, we can make the decision as if the value of the attribute is greater than the average, it has to branch to the right side, and if the value is less, it has to branch to the left side. So I'll show the execution now of this. So these are the different nodes. This is the KNIME software. So this is the CSV reader. I'll show I've already configured it and executed it. I'm reading the known data set, and it has a column header. It does not have a row ID. And and one thing with CSV reader is here the credit policy, the type we saw was actually number, because the values were 1 and 0. I have converted this to string because have converted that to string because the decision tree learner will only consider the values from only consider the output value to be categorical. So once I convert that to a string type, it starts we'll see that when we come to the decision tree learner. So once that is done, we'll go for partitioning. I have done 80% first partition, and so the rest of the 20% will go into the second partition. I'll show the partitions. So the first partition contains rows as 0, 2, 3. All these rows are there in the first partition, and in the second partition the rows 1, 7, 10 are there in the second partition. So I'm sending the first partition to the decision tree and the second partition to the decision tree predictor. So here is where the model is formed. So here the gain ratio which we have seen calculated based on the entropy. Here the purpose which we saw was a categorical value. The credit dot policy was actually a categorical value. Since it was number, it wasn't accepting, and I changed the number to a string, then it started accepting. Then we'll say okay, and we'll execute this. So the learner is executed, and we'll be able to see the tree. So this is the tree that is formed. The first attribute which was used is INQ last 6 months. This is basically based on insurance, and if we see like this, the next if that is less than 3, 3 will be the splitting value. If that is less than equal to 3, then the decision is again based on FICO. And once we do that in decision based on FICO, if it is less than 657, we see that all the values, almost all the values, 272 out of 271 values are coming as 0. So the value of the So the zoom the yes, so the value is coming as 0. So we can make the decision over there like this. The tree will keep on forming. Here in this place, if the FICO is less than 737, we are seeing the value 0. That means the loan won't be approved, and all the cases are working over here. So like this, the decision tree will be formed. In order to predict the values for the rest of the trees, we'll use a decision tree predictor. So we'll execute the decision tree predictor, and the output of this is okay. So the values have been predicted. In order to see the predicted values, we'll use the scorer. Yes, we'll execute it first. And if we see the scorer, we can see the accuracy statistics. Here we see the number of true positives, the number of false positive, etc. And we see the total accuracy has come to 0.986. And there are different values of recoil, precision, etc. Now continuing with the second model. The second model is called random forest. Random forest is a supervised learning algorithm. It is basically based on decision trees, but what the random forest does is it is a collection of decision trees, and it increases the overall result by combining all the different decision trees. So this will be the training day. So it takes subsets of different of the same data. It will build decision trees for all the data, and then it will merge them, which will give the prediction. The execution for this. Okay, so this is the so it takes the same input, the same splitting, and so we are using all the attributes to use for the prediction, and it's done using information gain ratio. And we'll execute this. Okay, since the learning has been done, we can execute the tree. Since the learning has been done, we can view the tree. So this is the tree made over here. This tree also uses the so this tree starts with the inquiry in the last 6 months. This is greater than 3.5, less than 3.5. Then days with CR line, like this, the tree is built for in this case as well. And so we ran the predictor already. See the prediction output. So this is the prediction output we see. There's a credit policy, and there will be a row which would have prediction values. Then to see the score of this, okay, oh sorry, we haven't ran this thing. So we execute it. The scorer will tell the accuracy. Accuracy statistics, it is about 0.988. So comparing decision tree and random forest, so we can see the accuracy of both of them. So this was the accuracy of decision trees. And this was the this was the decision accuracy of decision trees, and accuracy statistics for decision tree, and this is the accuracy statistics for random forest. We can see that the accuracy over here has been improved. So 1 second. Yes, the accuracy over for the decision trees was 0.986, but the accuracy over here has improved. But the accuracy is not the only attribute which characterizes which algorithm is better. We have a higher recall over here, and the precision over here for predicting zero values is actually less. So there's a lot of attributes which contribute, but overall we can say that both of the models have come close to predicting the correct values in almost all the cases. And so the accuracy, precision, recall all depends on the data set as well, on the type of model. As we see, the random forest model does have a overall higher accuracy, but that is not a single metric, and it can sometimes be misleading as well. Thank you.